ke halage kodiko nokade yoa pakomulo klikla tahanya ini ya doje pomuno doje pokwa pasau kwemu na le neke helo dogana ba takocho le awera pomu do pokwa kiga takocho akene wale ketewada takocho achote gane meda pomuno ke pomuno ke ne charo chili pomuno ne ketewde kolaba klo ateme buine ye je ko trust li ne gale ko nyokro te che de mo ne no ke pomu charo chili.
Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I learned about from the Timu Be the Light Youth Fellowship, which is called Those Who Are Submitted to God Has Always Done Better Feats Than the Talented. And this is a theme that we see throughout the Bible, which I also happened to see today when I was reading Judges chapter 6 and 7. So to give a little bit of background, Judges chapter 6 and 7 is about Gideon. And during this time, the Israelites were overpowered by the Midianites and they were oppressed because of their evil doings. They were idolatering and worshiping a false god. So God didn't protect them anymore and they were struggling because the Midianites were stronger than them. But they cried out to God and asked God to please help them. So one day, the Lord sends an angel, and he sends this angel to Gideon, and he calls out to Gideon. He says, "Go in this might of yours and save Israel from the hand of Midian." But Gideon, he has low self-esteem, and he says to the angel, "Please, Lord, how can I save Israel? Behold, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house." So Gideon has low self-esteem because the Lord is a great God, but their enemy has been overpowering them for 7 years. So he didn't have faith in God. He didn't have faith in himself. And he said, "How can I save Israel?" And the Lord replied to him, "But I will be with you, and you shall strike the Midianites as one man." God is saying, as long as you have me, you can have victory over all your enemies, all these great enemies that have been overpowering you for 7 years with just the strength of God. So, like I said, those who are submitted to God has always done better feats than those who are talented, have high status, are rich, have more strength, etc. And if we keep reading until Judges chapter 7, we see that Gideon and his 100 men defeat the Midianites, and they live peacefully again for another 40 years before Gideon passes away. So let this be a lesson to us that no matter how small or weak or poor we feel, it doesn't matter about any of those things, because as long as we submit to God and stay faithful to God, He will use us for His kingdom.
Ke pomuno takacho ne tage khutolo te ne me tan na ne kachaywa phene mukho ko lu hele sokidi sokidi o sokidi o hetewadi I akhene ne ko ba ke awera pa ko mu khosala ne ko ba le dura ne du ne da sokido de samar se ba samar baba dole khine awera sokido ne makwara kachaywa khiblo le khine ne awe sokido ne sinyamara le kachaywa no uro noko dole khine sokido ne awera le dura kwamiria awe mani manora do poketela phune sokido ataw mune awe machoge pakom adu aga khoblo le sokido na kachaywa khone no awe ne phomuno takocho ne thanya dine akhane poketela le awera phokwa pho takocho ro awe ke phokwa pho ne chara seli takocho.
So today my main topic will be revival in the church. And so today we'll be looking at Acts 16, verse 25. Here it says, "About midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners were listening to them." To give a little background information as to why they were in jail, earlier that day, while they were performing exorcism, they ended up freeing this slave who could fortune tell. And once the owners found out about that, they were very enraged and ended up bringing them to the authorities. So now that we know that they're in jail, we can see that while they're praising the Lord and doing all this preaching, all this great work, we'll go to verse 26. Here it says, suddenly there was such a violent earthquake that the foundation of the jail were shaken, and immediately all the doors were open and everyone's chains came loose. So here we can see through the work of God and his miracle, anything can be done. And even though they ended up becoming free, they chose to stay in the jail just so that the authority wouldn't get in trouble. And through doing that, they were able to turn that authority, that person, to God. And that is all I have for today.
Okay. Okay, Poka Takachokani, Mivara, Awara, Puado Soko Kiga, Awe Mavara Tasaku Jole, Awe Hopu. Don't meter a clola clone. Awe Dosoko Kigala Mina Sopo Lo Sosilane, Awe Mavara Tamu Get Holle, Hodopu. Dole, Wakiga Mata Muto. Get hollow to Bohunido, Ave Tachorlen Urole, Romia Cordor Conya, Le Vera Pacupanata or Mule, Asako, Asama, Sidipane, Hekido, Poya Lagesado, Nike Chayanilo. Kuna le Nike Chayua, Poya Lagasa, Hekechu, Avacasa Sucria Une, Copole, Padosocola Mina, Sopol Rososilla, Mavada, Tamu Togeto. Le ho pu ko ni lo avane phukha pho ta ko cho le ta hanya ni lo okay ta hanya ni mo yala tila mu khura ko choke ke ywa pa ko mule kwa le kli kla ko di ko na ka de ke phu mu te ke pa nya le kli kla ji blu ko pa nya kli kla ta ka to ki to ke phu mu na cho.
Thank you everyone for listening, and I hope that you got something from it and you will use it in your life. And remember God's words.
Okay, Pumuno, Tajibu, Deadilo, Tablu Codele, Ave Joa Pomule, Ule Kilikla, Le Sidoganata, Dosuka, Tagomu, Mo Yo Chogina, Kodi Konoke, Kepukapunaro.
I want to thank everyone that took the time out of their day today to watch our video. And while we learn about God and all his great miracles that he has done, I hope we can all walk with him, walk with the Holy Spirit, and let the Holy Spirit guide us. Thank you.
Pukapun and Teojalo, Tablu Pado Cogadele, Sukawata Mu Venilo, Mo Yoasa Hika Mapunado, Avada Tacho Takamo, Yoasa Hika Mapun Takitaba, Tagara Kuno Cadene, Mira, Avera Pukapota Cheke Chevanilo. Okay, Tablu Pado Code, Pocatilo, Gedavasa, Chuna to Blow. Say Tablu.
Tableau.
Thank you.
Tablu.